All right, good morning. This is a video response to not a request, but somebody in my gym demonstrated a desire to learn about Filipino martial arts and weapons specifically. They are already a boxer, so they're familiar with footwork and striking with the hands. And they said, yeah, I've been waiting to get into weapons. So I've been waiting to make this video for a long time. And this is my take on what I've been studying lately, which is Krabi Krabong applied, deconstructed to apply to Filipino martial arts like Kali. So the generally in a Filipino martial arts school, you're going to find something like this, a 28-inch stick measuring from armpit to fingertip, made out of rattan. And Krabi Krabong uses anatomical reference from center of the chest to the fingertip. This is a 36-inch rattan stick. Right now, my favorite, and I can have favorites because I want to like what I'm doing for training, so this is now my favorite weapon, a 33-inch piece of guava from Hawaii. This is a hardwood. It's not quite up to like kamagong, ironwood. Like that stuff's like getting hit with a cast iron pipe. So another major difference. Well, let me first explain why this is a 36-inch stick. I gotta back up. It's because this is the training analog for a dab song mu, or da. I think da is singular and dab song mu is double. You'll notice there's a large cantilever. There's a large handle, and it's not a two-handed sword. You could hold it like that, Japanese style. But the benefit is you can strike with this, and you can hook with it, like around the neck, so you can kick or pull somebody in and stab them with a dagger if you're doing like two weapons. This can be a shield, but really the blocking with this part and the hooking is the advantage to the cantilever. And of course there's an advantage and disadvantage to all of these grips, because a lot of the Filipino schools will say you choke down here because you can still strike with it. You might not be able to hook with it, but nobody's going to disarm it. Because yeah, if you have this much exposed, it's very easy to disarm this. But don't forget, you're training with it's a 2-foot long razor blade. If somebody's closing in and closing the gap to take a 2-foot razor blade from you, I put my money on the 2-foot razor blade. Anyway, it's just training styles. There's an advantage and a disadvantage to everything. And just because there's a disadvantage doesn't mean somebody's going to be able to take care of it, because you still got your knees, your elbows, your headbutts, your other weapons. Anyway, so I'm going to demonstrate what I have to demonstrate today with this. You can use any weapon you want. First, I'm going to show you the footwork. That's a square. And watch how my feet go across the square. So I'm just going to hold this in the caveman position and just step across the square like that, or a diamond or whatever. In the Filipino martial arts, there's a forward triangle facing that way. There's my bad guy. Forward triangle. And then there's a reverse triangle facing that way. So I use that to angle. This is more of an offensive structure, changing on the inside. And this is a defensive structure for angling, zoning to the area of least pressure. So what I'm going to show, this video, the whole purpose of this video was to show the basic cuts. I call this drill 8 cuts. It's the fundamental cuts, your forehand and your backhand. And on the way up, I'm doing a shield, which can be done like this, or it could be done like this, or it's an umbrella, sorry, umbrella, up the center line. And this is going to be a shield. So that would be like in this direction. How would we explain it? Well, the roof block, or the umbrella, is going to be on same side, and the shield is going to be on the opposite side. And you also, this way, up the center, outside, outside. So I'm going to combine the blocks and the strikes with the footwork in this quick start video. I'm not going to break everything down. This is probably broken down way too much. Here in Krabi, they use It looks like throwing a baseball. So it's not just a hack, because that's the difference, right? If you have an axe, you hack. If you have a 2-foot long razor blade, you draw the blade across the target. You can hack and you can chop, but maximum damage, or maybe not maximum damage, depending on how hard you swing it if you're hacking, but the benefit of a 2-foot razor blade, you draw it across the target, you're causing a lot of problems. So it's not one of these, it's draw up with the block and then across the target. Up, boom. And then the same thing on the other side. Draw up, come back. So it's like a whip versus follow through. So it's more like the jab. So you got a witik and a lobtik. So that's the same thing here. One, and then we got our orbit. So I'm going to throw in an orbit too, all the way around on my last cut backwards to switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these cuts that are going to follow the body when I'm moving, and then on the way back, same thing, and on the way forward, I'm going to throw in an orbit, and then I'm going to step, because that's going to switch to me moving into the cut, moving this rear leg into the cut. You'll see. Let me demonstrate. Forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand, orbit, step, forehand, but I'm closing now, which means I'm cutting into the side that I'm stepping away from. So start over, because I forgot where it was. 1, 2, right? I'm backing up, orbit. It's just a big slash, that's all that is. Here, and then I can reset it all again with another orbit, step in. Same thing on the opposite side. Start with either side forward. Orbit. So the fun thing about this is it's not like fencing where it's all like this. We're not doing that. It's some off lead stuff from the back, because I've got an offensive weapon up here, and there's all kinds of things associated with this. There's techniques and concepts that we could talk about in other videos, but just study these 8 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then with the feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so there you saw the feet, you saw the hands, and then I'm going to do it one more time all together. The stance is square. This isn't like a karate stance where I'm like this. This is more boxer wrestling. So you're keeping your weapons facing the opponent, and you're going to step across that space. I'm not stepping sideways and skating towards the opponent. We're going to burst the bubble, and that's one of the benefits of this rear hand. There's a lot of pressure coming in on that step. So there you go. Quick start. Krabi Krabong deconstructed for some instant martial arts drills in the backyard.